Welcome to the Share Your Rise podcast, where every person has an untold story to tell. I'm Katie.
I'm Bree. Join us as we explore the inspiring stories of individuals from all walks of life, uncovering the challenges they've overcome and the victories they've achieved.
Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered to share your own rise.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Share Your Rise podcast. We are very excited to be here with Kimberly Baeth, right here in her very own office in Urbandale, Iowa. Hello, Kimberly.
Hi.
Kimberly, it's so great to see you. And we just want to first, by starting off, thank you so much for inviting us to your beautiful home, your beautiful office. And we're so excited to kind of dive into your story and find out how you rose to the person that you are.
Absolutely. So, Kimberly, as you know, on the Share Your Rise podcast, we are all about inviting people to come in and tell their inspiring stories. So, say hello.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and honored that you selected me, and welcome to my home and my office.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Oh, it's beautiful. So you know that we do like to start off with your roots and how you kind of became the person that you are sitting in your chair today. So let's start there. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. How did that look like for you growing up?
Oh boy, how long is this podcast?
As long as you want it to
We
be.
love good stories.
Okay, well, first of all, you're lucky I'm sitting in my chair because one doesn't catch me sitting around very much because I am on the go constantly, 24/7. And I grew up in Marshalltown, Iowa. My father was a contractor. He's called the Concrete King in Marshalltown.
Ooh.
He's 77 years old, and he still pours concrete every single
my
day.
gosh.
Wow.
So we built a house growing up, brick by brick, 10,000 square feet. Not like hire a builder, but literally carried bricks, mixed mud.
So you
poured
got to
concrete.
help in all of the
Oh,
building.
got to help would be a nice word. It was like childhood slavery. So there's not pretty much anything I don't know how to do when it comes to building a house, shingles, drywall. And before I could go to the mall, before I could go out with my friends, before I could go to homecoming, I always had to complete chores. So I want to say
I love
that helped make like a good work ethic, or it was always mind over matter, or he would say PMA, positive mental attitude, and we were all like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Did you have siblings that helped you then, or was it just you?
Two girls. So I have two sisters in the family, and they were younger, so they always got out of it, or they'd even freaking step on a nail or something just to get hurt so they didn't have to work.
Oh, almost smart. So do you feel like you learned some of those skills as a young girl, helping to build your home and everything? Do you still use some of those skills now?
Oh, absolutely. Nothing was insurmountable in my mind, literally. And I would call my friends, so I used my resources, and I would say, hey guys, I have this really fun project. We have to build my deck before next week. So why don't you all come over and help, and I'll provide pizza and pop, and we can get this project done by next Sunday. And my dad would pay them too, so they thought it was fun and exciting.
So already your small little business.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the entrepreneurship skills started right away.
And how old were you there?
Oh, like this started in 6th grade.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
So that's just that's Heloise's age, or no, that's Birdie. Eloise, that's
Yeah,
Heloise's age.
it's my daughter's age
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So picture that. And then we sold our house in East Main Street Road. I went to Green Mountain, Garwin, which was a K through 12 school. And we had to move in with my grandma in the basement because we weren't ready to move into the house. We called it a lot. And
So that was before the house was completed.
So we lived in her basement, and then I went to Marshalltown schools. And so that was a whole story in itself. And then my poor mom, that was her mother. So she was always the one that nurtured for us, cared for us, bought our clothes.
Yeah.
She always said, don't ever bake cookies out of a tube, and had homemade cookies and pies. And
Everything had to be done right.
Right. And decorated every holiday. And look at the rainbow and watch the sunset. And, so I had the best of both
Yeah,
worlds
you
with
did.
both parents.
Yes, the work ethic and the looking at life through those rose-colored glasses.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
and
amazing.
and she loved fashion and fun and shopping. So I feel like between both parents, I got the best of both worlds,
can
but
see
still
that.
disciplined.
Yeah, I can see that in you for sure.
Well, thank
because
you.
even like Thanksgiving, you're putting a big turkey in your front yard, right? So that comes from your mom.
I love
and
to
then the work
decorate.
ethic, just every day that we're seeing from you. You're always coming up with ideas and something that's innovative and different and putting your own spin on it if it's not.
Absolutely. And creativity is connecting things and ideas. I mean, that's what it's all about, because creativity helps our world go around, and you just don't want to be boring. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to use the creativity in there. And that's where it comes from when you're growing up, helping your parents do all of these major projects. You have to learn how to be creative and do it the right way.
So tell us about your education then. That brings us to that next point in your life. So how was your education? You're in Marshalltown. Was it a small school, small classrooms?
absolutely. So Marshalltown, back in the day, like, I think 28,000 people. I spoke at my high school graduation. I was involved in student council. I played basketball. We didn't lose a game 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th grade. And then our coach kind of mixed everybody up, and everyone thought we'd win state, but I still have bad dreams about basketball. So let's not talk about basketball.
Oh, that's
We're moving
fine.
on.
We're
We're
moving
moving
on. I'm not into basketball that much, so it's fine.
Well, I am.
You are.
Okay, yeah. I could make 50 free throws without missing. So I was dedicated to basketball.
Wow.
And, but, at my high school graduation, I spoke on Always Be Confident, the ABCs.
Yes.
And I feel like that resonated and carried through my whole life. But,
That's the beauty of sports.
your
right there.
education is important. I was top of my class, top 5%, not like valedictorian. Our school didn't have that where the valedictorians spoke. You tried out. We had 3 or 4 speakers, and but I was always involved in several groups, not just like the preppies or the populars or the sports or the burnouts or the ashtrays, but I was friends with everyone and
Kind of hopped from group to
There's
group.
some
Right.
new names there I've never heard before.
The
Ashtrays,
80s.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just took my daughter to the Outsiders, and I was reminded of the Sochies and the
I'm a little
Greasers.
bit
So.
older than you guys.
No,
so
I love
gonna
it.
date
I
me
love
here.
it. Well, no, it's fine. The ashtrays are coming back. I think I did hear my oldest use that term. So
Yeah, my daughter uses the Lululemon girls too. So there's
Oh.
definitely
Yeah.
the names of the groups now.
But I took my studying seriously. I had to work really hard for my grades. What didn't come naturally. I studied all the time. I had study buddies.
hard work ethic again.
Yep, I looked for the people that were smart and made sure I studied with them. I was in a couple honors classes, and but I had to work really hard to get A's.
Well, and you knew where to find your opportunity. You knew to advocate for yourself, right? So that's a big thing of being an entrepreneur.
And then I went on and went to Iowa State. I looked at several local colleges. I thought I was going to play basketball for a small school, but I figured I'd know everyone the first couple weeks of school, and that wouldn't work out so hot. So I knew I wanted to go to a large school, and I looked at Iowa and Iowa State, and I just knew Iowa State once I got there. The grass was green. They handed out Rice Krispie treats and a
beautiful
mascot.
campus. Oh,
there you
go, yeah.
I just loved it, and I never looked back. My heart just bleeds red and gold still.
Is that your inspiration then of your office here? Because this is a little bit of gold and red. And I mean, is that a little bit of golden openings?
and cutting edge success?
Yeah, tell us about how you got into that.
My junior high colors were red and gold for Lenahan Lions, and my sorority was red and gold. Chi Omega Iowa
Wow.
State.
So
is red
it
and-
just
maybe,
fit.
but it did fit for golden openings because I had the bright, yellow and the red ribbon, and I must like red and gold. I don't know.
Yeah.
So tell us some more
it
about.
makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun and cheery.
Absolutely, I want to hear more about golden openings. Tell us a little bit more
Yes.
about how that came to be.
Oh my gosh. So I worked at a Chamber of Commerce out of college, and I was sent to ribbon cuttings with this little hair bow ribbon and gross rusty scissors, and I was told to not only get the member to join, but make magic happen. Oops. And, sometimes the person having the event didn't even know we were having it. Sometimes the mayor would come. Sometimes people would come. Sometimes there was no food. There was no magic. There was no confetti. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I was supposed to make this event look good. So I had my dad make a 3-foot pair of wood scissors with razor blades that met, and that started the whole talk of the town. Everyone wanted to buy them, rent them, borrow them, and our chamber phone started ringing off the hook. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, is there a such thing as giant scissors that cut? And again, this was back in 1993, 94. And I said, I called Fiskars, the people that make orange scissors, and there wasn't. And I said,
Wow.
this could be a business all in itself.
That's amazing.
I started to think of colleges, universities, cities, chambers, all the people that would use giant scissors. And then General Mills wanted a pair with all their cereal brands on them. And then my dad...
General Mills,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. And so I'm like, this could be a business. So eventually I gave my 2-week notice, joined the chamber, had all these members, supporting me. And my husband's like, you have a week or a year to make a profit or you're going back to work. So...
Accountability, pressure's on.
Thanks, Kev. But, his friends, we had pizza, and they're like, if anyone can do it, you can.
I would have to agree.
Well, that's just a testament to what you were mentioning earlier about the importance of creativity and work ethic all in one.
Yeah.
Just going for it.
So I saw it as a golden opportunity, and we just went around with the scissors and banners, and I literally knocked on doors and said, what are you doing for your grand opening? And people would say nothing.
Yeah.
So I rented my same things. We eventually built a website. This is right when the World Wide Web was just coming out. And then eventually patented and trademarked the first giant pair of scissors. And then I learned that there was no such thing as gold shovels, chrome shovels, keys to the city. And voila, we come up with 2,000 ceremonial products over 30 years.
Wow. So you kind of inserted the golden, no key to the city. So I didn't even know about that. Did you know about that, Bree?
No, I
The key to
didn't.
the city?
So it's an honorary tradition. And keep in mind, I didn't invent ribbon cuttings. I didn't invent groundbreakings. I didn't invent the key to the city. Those are all literally lifelong traditions, but there were no ceremonial products that were mass produced to make those exciting or eventful that you could just go buy. So that's what I had patented and trademarked. And so every time somebody famous comes to Las Vegas, they get a key to the city, and we actually make that key, or we did at Golden Openings before I sold the business. So if you look up Donnie and Marie Osmond or Elton John, or every time they go, they get a key to the city, and you can Google that, and it's our key.
Wow.
So that was just one of the people that bought our key to the city. And then there's just a plethora of others that we had 3-foot keys, 2-foot keys. I can show you some of the keys, that we've made, custom keys, Mardi Gras keys, custom molded keys.
Yeah.
And looking around your room here.
some of these kind of keys.
We're seeing all sorts of beautiful collections of keys.
This is a custom molded key for Mardi Gras, and it has a trumpet and you'll have to zoom in on this, but it's just phenomenal. And they had 200 or 300 of these made. But the intricacy and the pattern, if they can design it, we can make it.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I think Elevada might need a key, Bree.
We should. Totally get a key.
And
Key
it
to
what
your
would
podcast.
Yes, what would it unlock? I don't know. Pandora's box. Of some
The key
sort.
to success.
The key to success.
I love that.
Let's make a key.
I love that. Okay, well, that's something new that we didn't know. So tell us what happens next. So you got golden openings. That kind of, you needed to do something new. What happened? The transition out of that.
Well, I ran it for 30 years successfully, and it just got ginormous. We received 35 awards, grew at 32% growth every year for 27 years, 84% growth in 2021 after COVID. Everyone had their events from the year before and then the next year. And staff, I had the same staff for 15 years, 10 years, 12 years, and it was very consistent, but all that started to kind of be choppy. And same with the vendors. I have offices in Pakistan, China, Taiwan, Vietnam, and I could always pivot and turn, and we even did during COVID. I was selling masks, I was selling partitions, things I don't even care about, but I was able to keep it open. So always very profitable, always very exciting, always caring about the customer experience. But it just turned into like, I don't know if I can keep all the stars aligned every day. And I was
Yeah.
working 20-hour days. I gave up things that I love the most, like working out, my family. My husband's like, I'm not even seeing you. You're spending 20 hours a day chained to your desk. Is this what you want to keep doing? And I
Yeah.
said, yes. And he's like, no, you
No,
don't.
you don't. It's all about
It's
that.
your baby.
Yeah.
I love it. And he's like, I think we should sell it on top. Well, it is successful. You have 5-star reviews. You have all these amazing customers.
He's
and
smart.
you could do
Yeah, that's
anything.
true.
And-
He knew you needed to find that balance.
Yes.
You were
And-
all in, and he knew that you weren't taking
Yes.
good care of yourself.
And the things that were not in my control were really not in my control. And it was fun. It was exciting. But it just seemed like he's right. Like, I hate to admit when Kevin's right.
Yeah.
Because he's my
Yeah.
husband. You're like, oh, Kevin's never right. But
Right.
he was right. And I
Yeah.
said...
And you
"There's-"
listened.
And I could do
Yeah.
anything because I was getting a lot of invitations to speak at, like, graduations and chambers. And I love speaking and delivering messages and also helping other businesses grow. Because people
Yeah.
would ask me, how did you get that return on investment? How did you grow your company? How do you get to speak at that graduation? And I said, well, I can help you do that. And I
Right.
was usually doing it on the side besides running Golden Openings. So I said, I guess I could do this full time. But I said, I'm not retiring because he's
Right.
like, oh, just retire. Just let's get a winter house. Go do more
He was
Ironmans.
ready to do it.
Do a marathon.
Yeah.
I'm not retiring. That's the deal. If I sell this, then I'm not retiring.
You're going into something new. You're
Yeah.
going to create a new venture.
Because I say there is no finish line. Like, we're all put on this earth, and I just love helping people. And to me, it's the adrenaline and what's going to happen the next day and our why. Why do we get out of bed? Why did you show
Right.
up here today?
Right. I was thinking about that, just getting ready this morning, like how awesome Bree and I's life is that we just get to get up
Absolutely.
and go talk with one of our new
Inspiring.
famous,
Oh,
our
famous.
new famous and favorite person, Kimberly.
Oh.
And you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that this is living life. This is how I want to
It
live
is.
life. And I think that's what you're trying to express here. Is like,
Absolutely.
it's just the joy of living, figuring out how you can be joyful and doing something every day you wake up and you love doing it.
Absolutely. I'm curious. You mentioned that finish line and going. You're running your marathon. So tell us more. Like, what do you do to fulfill yourself when you're not running your companies?
Sure. Well, I mean, again, I love helping people and making a difference in someone's life. So if every day, if I make a difference in someone's life or make them feel like they can do something or do something nice for someone, I know that sounds cheesy, but
No, it's great.
that is my true goal every day.
Absolutely.
Like,
I love
it might be something small, but it's just like a little kid came to my door the other day, and this is so funny. We just got a blue Corvette, and it's kind of like a Barbie, I don't know, Malibu blue, and I didn't think anything of it, but I don't even think people think it's a Corvette. It's just a Corvette. And he came, he's like, can I see your car? And I'm like, sure. So then next he brings 5 boys over, and then 10, and pretty soon I have this boys club in my neighborhood. And he's like, I'm having a lemonade stand. Will you bring your car? And I'm like, sure.
Oh, a future entrepreneur.
Yes.
He's
absolutely.
trying
This
to
is
do
where
some-
I'm going.
Yeah.
And you've already made an impact on him.
So then I bring the car, and then you've got the neighbors all lined down the street, not only to see the lemonade stand, but to see the car. And it turned into like a freaking neighborhood block party.
my gosh.
Yeah, I love that.
But this little boy did this, and I could have said no. And then he came
Yeah.
back to my house. It was 5 minutes. He's like, are you still coming, Kimberly? And now every time I see him, and then I told him about the scissor business and about, doing something. He's like, I'm going to own my own business someday. And
Oh
he's
my
like,
gosh.
I
I'm
think
going
he will.
to.
You
I
made a
think he
difference in his
will.
life.
Yeah, so that's a good example. But for hobbies, I've always been a runner. I did cross country in high school just so I was fast in basketball and not
Yeah.
slow. I hated to run. Honestly, I ran to McDonald's and back and thought I was going to die. It was 2 miles in Marshalltown.
Right.
And I got a
Yeah.
cheeseburger when I was there.
I love it.
But I made myself and eventually ran a marathon, and I ran Boston the year of the bombs.
Good job.
Wow.
And then I went on and did Ironman. So I've done 4 half Ironmans, and that consists of swimming 1.2 miles, biking 56, and then running a half marathon.
So do you have another Ironman coming up that you're planning for?
I have one in October.
Oh,
Really?
It's in
goodness.
Texas.
So
Bree,
tell us a
we
little.
have to sign up for these things.
Wow. Okay.
I love that.
Let's
I'm
do
curious
it.
to hear what your training regime is for
Yeah.
training for an Ironman.
I swim 2 or 3 times a week, usually at Lifetime. If I can get in a lake, I do. If it's not gross.
Yeah, good luck in
yeah,
Iowa.
yeah. And then for biking, that's my weak spot. Most people love biking, but I don't. I have a good bike, but I just, it's hard to get on your bike and go out and then find people to bike with. So I joined a tri club. And then running, I used to love to run, but I'm starting to like that less the older I get. And I'm not going to say I'm
Right.
old.
So what motivates you to want to do something like this? Because it's not your favorite thing, but you're doing it because
Just to stay fit, stay healthy.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge, another thing to do, just not sitting around. We got to all keep moving to be healthy.
Right.
So I feel like
true.
if I have something on the calendar, I also signed up for Dam to Des Moines. That's a half marathon in May, and I talked my 2 daughters into doing it with me.
Yeah.
So it's a family activity too.
that.
You're getting your kids into
and
it.
one of them was a swimmer. She swam at Kentucky.
yeah.
She's never run past a 5K, and she did a half marathon with us
That's
last
amazing.
Mother's Day. And my other daughter ran cross country and did tennis. So we all decided to do
That's
it.
great that they're at that age. You can start working out together. I'm still waiting for that. So next, we definitely want to get into the cutting edge success,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the chapter in your life that Bree and I were honored to meet you at the Business Record.
Women of
Board,
Influence.
Women of
yes.
Influence, where we saw you speak and we were at that dinner. And that's kind of what started us reaching out and just saying, wow, we love your story. Let's get together and kind of find out, the person that you are. And we're so thankful that we did that because now here we are today, right?
Absolutely.
And we get to kind of go into this next future with you as a little bit of our wingman. So we're super grateful for that. But tell us about Cutting Edge Success. Why did you and
Sure.
how did you get into that?
So when I decided to sell golden openings, as I said earlier, I didn't want to retire. So I thought, what could I do to keep my contacts, keep my relationships? Because they were friends. Like I called all my clients friends. Like when Dunkin' Donuts bought something, I found out the girl was a runner, so I sent her a pair of running shoes. And the White House is one of my contacts, and I sent him a red, white, and blue outfit. And they just laugh and say, Kimberly,
You're
you
keeping
are
it
something.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose contact with these people. So I said, what could I do? And I said, I'm a good speaker. I have a good message. I tell people to dream big. So I said I could speak on entrepreneurship, sales. I'm very good at sales because I don't sell a product. Even though we had 2,000 products, I always believe it's the experience, it's the emotions. If you ever looked at our website, it's fist pumping, it's hugs, it's emotion.
Yes.
It's not what you're doing or how you're doing it, but it's why.
Yeah,
It's
that
it's
why.
it's that emotion, it's the feelings, it's the memories that you're creating, and that's what I truly believe in. So I feel like I can help people understand that. And then again, I got lots of questions from people is how did you do this? How did you make that happen? How come you show up on 40 pages of Google when I type in your name? Do you advertise? No, we didn't advertise.
Yeah.
And just don't put all your eggs in one basket. And no, I don't want the same 20-hour-a-day pace, even though I loved it. And, I thought my kids would buy the business.
Right.
And they're both engineers, left brain. Like, oh, no, we don't want the business. We like our weekends. We like our hobbies. And same with my husband. He does the taxes and helps with the website. And he's like, no, I agree. They shouldn't have the business. It's not the same.
Well, if there's one thing about you we've learned, Kimberly, is it's the importance of building relationships and making connections. And so it's almost like you haven't had to advertise what you do because
Yeah.
you've made such an impact on the
Right.
world just by making those connections with real people authentically and building relationships.
Well, and then being the expert in the industry, I really believe in that. So no matter what you're doing, if you're going to cut hair, for example, if you're going to be a beautician, I always believe that just be the beautician. So say that you can only cut so many heads of hair a day, but write a book on cutting hair.
Yeah.
Know the latest hair trends. Know about extensions. Know about gray hair. How to avoid gray hair,
Yep, strive to be the
live,
expert.
dream,
Yeah.
eat, and sleep cutting hair and being a beautician and be that best beautician and just eat it up. cut hair with big scissors and let it go
Well,
viral.
so that's
I don't know about
it.
that, but-
That's what you did with scissors. I mean, to think what you could do with a pair of scissors.
Yes. Taking
and,
this simple idea.
And like, I love that, you know?
And I listened to people, like they wanted big light switches that flipped on and off when the Christmas lights came on. And I laughed at that. I'm like, seriously? I said, so the Christmas lights turn on in the village, but you want to flip it with a light switch. Believe it or not, we came up with that.
Yeah.
I said yes. I didn't even know how we were going to make it, kind of like the big scissors. So I found a wood crafter, and then we had them in 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, and 6 foot big light switches.
So Cutting Edge Success, do you help other businesses as well? Like others, like entrepreneurs trying to rise? Like, tell us a little bit how that looks like.
Sure. So we created kind of a golden circle of everything you need when you open a business. So we've been opening businesses for years. That's what I pride myself on, getting businesses out of the starting gate, doing their ribbon cuttings, their groundbreakings. But what's next? So, you know, you have to have your vision, your mission, your value, all of those statements. And then once we won the U.S. Chamber Small Business of the Year Award in 2017, I felt like I finally understood what it takes to be an awesome business and live, sleep, dream, and eat it. Like literally, and I had been in business all those years since 1997, but it's a full circle and you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. So you have to network. You have to, you know, work on the taxes and know your numbers and behind the scenes. You have to nurture your employees. You have to have a great website and you have to be ready for change and AI and all the things that it takes to go into a good business. So I help people where they're struggling or they may not know where they're struggling. It might be corporate and employee benefits. It might be new products. It might be management. It might be anything, but we take them through a whole series of workshop and ideas and focus on where they're struggling and then channel in on that. And we can either observe them or we can just do a survey or, it can be done any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And then we also do workshops on different areas in the business. And then we specialize in websites, in AI, in logos, in anything it takes to make a business run, really, and just break it down. But 5-star reviews, are you showing up on Google? Do you think you need to advertise? Are you advertising? Press releases, getting your story told. So many people have a great story just
Absolutely.
like this, but they're not being heard and they don't even know it or they're not sharing it. Mm-hmm. So, that's just the start of it. And apply for awards. They're free. Right. They're advertising. Like I said, we won 35 awards, local, national, and international, and it's free advertising, and you just have to try to qualify. The worst you can do is hear no, and if people want to apply for awards, I'll help you apply for them. Right. So to me, it's just like I've done it. It
becomes natural for you.
There's a business coach and all that, but to have your feet on the ground, your boots on the ground, you've done it. The blood, sweat, and tears. Yep. You've lived through it, so why not help another business? And then I also work with the Better Business Bureau a lot. I'm on the board and help them because they have a good program helping make sure that businesses aren't being scammed. To join the Better Business Bureau helps your business grow, be seen. Yes. You have an A+ review. You move up on Google. So I'm partnered with them, which is a great fit. And then also the public speaking. I want to speak at as many colleges, universities, and inspire the young people that just have an idea, but they don't think they can. And if they can just hear this one piece of mind or piece of advice or yes, you can, or you got this, or dream big, or do what you love because it's a matter of the heart. And just give them that one little nudge that says you can do it.
Sometimes that's all they need is to hear that one little bit of encouragement.
Well, I think that's part of what you're doing too is, for us as well, is just helping us have confidence, and Cheryl at Spin Market plus digital as well. And that's what you're doing with your entrepreneurs at Cutting Edge Success. You named all those things you're doing, but you're also believing in them, believing in their story. And for people coming for an idea and wanting to grow, we need that. We need someone to just say, it's okay. I've been through it. You're going to do it. I can, I believe in you. Absolutely. And you're offering that as well with what you're doing.
And Cheryl's been a fantastic partner at Spin Market because she takes over where I leave off because I'm not a website expert, but she can create wonderful websites and cutting edge AI. And, I know about that, and we had a great website and we were easily found, but I don't go in and do the day to day, but she does that for us. So to have the full package and kit and caboodle is almost unheard of this day and age.
The two
I
of you
love
definitely
that.
have a great partnership.
So before we end, we kind of want to know what is next for Kimberly. What do you want to do? What's your legacy? What do you want to be known by? Tell us.
Well, my legacy, again, is just to be remembered for helping others and giving them the courage to know that they can do it. And anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere can do anything they want if they want to do it bad enough. And if that's not a quote, I guess it is now, because I believe that if you dream big, your dreams will come true. And if you just believe and make it happen, go get her done.
I love that. And thank you
love it.
so much,
Yeah,
Kimberly,
well,
for
thank you.
joining
Thank
us
you,
today and
Kimberly.
telling us about your story.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Thank you so much.
Girls will go far. Get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Share Your Rise podcast.
We hope you're leaving inspired and empowered to share your own journey.
Until next time, keep rising, keep thriving, and remember, your story matters.
This podcast is produced by Elevada Worldwide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode. Be sure to head to elevadaworldwide.com for more great content.